Welcome to Messy Fun Sisters Podcast.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Lauren. And this is episode 6. And what are we talking about today, Alyssa?
Today we are talking about...
Why were you just staring at me at the beginning?
I don't know. I was waiting for you to start. Today we are talking about our state of mind.
Ooh.
I was doing from Wayne's World.
Yeah. That's happy ending. Okay. Cool. So let's talk about, and just like preface, I feel like we're both really tired right now.
I know. I don't know why.
It's a Thursday night. It's 9:15.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh my gosh. We're just getting older. And Liam's been waking up a lot in the middle of the night. So
because he's teething?
I think so.
I've just had like a long week of like people wanting to hang out with me.
Oh my God. You're so cool.
But literally every single day I've had something to do.
Yeah.
This week. And then Trent was like, oh, now we have to do something else on this day. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then Liam's getting dedicated.
On Sunday.
The day that this comes out. Yeah. Liam would have been. So what's the purpose of dedication?
Just like dedicating him to the church. Like saying, I should ask Pastor David that question.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about our patrons too.
Yeah.
So basically, for those of you that don't really know what, I know we talk about it probably, I mean, we do talk about it every single podcast, but Patreon is a platform where people can be patrons of like creators. So it's not just like podcast people. Like if you want to be a patron of like a YouTuber that you like, or basically like contribute to like help them make more content. Just
We would very much appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely, but that's just what Patreon is.
Okay.
And I think like the very base, if you want to contribute, it's like $2, and we'll do like special things for our Patreons. Like we'll do like discount. I remember we talked about like doing giveaways with like hair stuff or whatever that you want to do. I personally want to make like t-shirts and like stickers and pop sockets and I don't know. I just want to, and then we can give those out to like our patrons. Because you obviously are going to be contributing to our podcast. So I burped.
Oh my God. I told you.
Well, you gave me champagne.
We didn't have any wine in the house. Okay. So
you know what? I got 2 huge bottles of wine delivered by favor. And I like packed one up to come bring it, and then I left it at the house.
Oh, boo.
I'm sorry.
So it's your fault that you burped.
Yeah.
Well, it's always like your own fault if you burp.
Okay, who are we sponsored by today, Alyssa?
Today we're sponsored by Diami.
Yay!
We just had to say that because we talk about Diami every podcast.
We're not really sponsored by
Diami. If you want to be a Patreon,
just click below in either the podcast or the YouTubes.
No, okay, but so real talk. Today's podcast is pretty deep, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we'll have fun talking about it, but it's pretty much, we wanted to talk to each other. Wow.
The end.
Okay, bye. Okay.
Okay, I turned my phone off and it's on Do Not Disturb now.
Good job. So
go ahead.
Yeah.
I ruined your real talk vibe.
No, I know. Okay. Real talk. We wanted to talk to each other kind of about where our mindset is, and how we deal with things, just because we are very different people and we think very differently and we react to things very differently. So we kind of wanted to talk about how we're learning and growing and how we differ from each other and things that go on in our lives.
And like how we learn from each other too. Because Alyssa, you said that?
I said how we're learning first and then growing.
But we learn from each other is what I'm saying, is like, because we're so different. Like I we'll do something to hurt someone's feelings. Like today, Alyssa was like, "You said that really rude."
Yeah.
I was like, "It wasn't rude."
But it came off rude. But it's not, you weren't intentionally being rude.
No.
But that's just the way that you are. And so it's good that we can kind of, because we're different, we can kind of balance each other out, or just call each other out on our faults. Yeah. Or, oh my God.
I'm trying to hold in a burp. Oh my God.
Falling
this
apart.
is a great day. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, so
this is the devil trying to not get us to talk about this.
Because I do feel like this is a topic that has been talked about a lot recently. Like I feel like I've been listening to a lot of different podcasts and sermons that have been talking about this, and then like our pastor talked about it. And anyway, so why did you want to talk about it today?
I mean, kind of the same thing. I feel like it's been coming at us at really, it's just been weird. I feel like it's like the universe, or not just the universe, but like a bunch of different things like happening all at the same time, where it's like, hey, like we really need to talk about this and have an open conversation.
A real talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's been happening a lot. It's been being brought up, I guess, a lot recently. Mm-hmm. Just about like mental health and how we deal with it and how we react to certain situations. I mean, we brought it up a little bit on the last podcast when we interviewed Lauren, and I feel like that's when we just I feel like that's where it started, maybe like sometime last week, when just like maybe like every day I feel like someone's been talking about this kind of thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway. So
I guess to get into the nitty gritty, what kind of things do you deal with? Like,
so I feel like I have a pretty solid grasp on how I think, and like,
you're very self-aware.
Yeah. Like I feel like when a thought comes in, I get it, understand it. And if it's not a good thought, I just like let it go.
Yeah.
And I've always been like that. And maybe it's because I am able to like decompartmentalize my thoughts and my
compartmentalize.
Yeah. Compartmentalize my thoughts and emotions. More recently, it's been a little bit more difficult. I don't know why, but I've always been able to do that. And
you think it's because your life has kind of changed a lot in the last couple of years?
Well, how so though?
You moved your whole life to New York City and then moved back, and now you're living with your parents. Like that's a lot. No, I'm saying like that's a lot. Like I think that would weigh on somebody a lot more than it has on you.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. I mean, I know when I lived in New York, I even Trent too, we definitely had like our anxiety spike up a bit, I guess. And I've never really like dealt with anxiety, honestly. Like I've always had a really good grasp on, like my mind and my thoughts, and I don't know, maybe it was the city, the vibe, just so many things going on at one time. And I don't know, it's really expensive to live there, and there's a lot of things going on at the same time. There's a ton of people. I don't know, but Trent started to really get like anxiety, I guess, more than I. And the way that I guess it manifested in me is I would start to get like chest pains, kind of.
Yeah.
And it would worry me, just because I'm a little overweight or whatever. But still, I was just like, wait a second, like, what is this? So I know I'm too young to. I mean, I don't know. I was 29, 30, like to deal with like heart stuff. Went to the doctors, no big deal. It was like basically just like, oh yeah, you have anxiety.
Yeah.
And so the way I kind of dealt with that,
you were like, what? Like, no.
Like, what? Yeah. Yeah. Like, I can handle this. It's not a big deal. But allegedly, like everyone in New York City has anxiety of some sort.
I can imagine.
Which makes sense. Yeah. But anyway, the way I kind of dealt with it was I did a lot of meditation, and I had never done that before. Okay, burped out of the way.
I'm so grossed out by you right now.
No more sparkling champagne. What was I saying? Oh, that's really something that I never really did before or even like knew what it was.
Yeah, because it has like kind of a hippie vibe,
Yeah.
or like kind of sounds crazy, I guess. Not
Sure.
crazy, but yeah, there's like a weird stigma on like
I like the hippie vibe.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But essentially what it did for me is it helped me because there were always kind of thoughts just like coming in all the time. Things were going crazy or whatever. And obviously you can tell I like talk very fast. So imagine how my
Your mind
brain
is
works.
working, yeah.
There's always things coming out one after the other. I don't know. So basically the whole point of meditation is just like to calm your mind.
Right.
So the app that I used actually was Headspace, and I
like Headspace.
loved it.
Yeah.
But the guy is just really chill in the way he talks and just kind of like helps you breathe basically.
But the thing is about that is like that worked well for you.
Yeah.
It might not work well for somebody else. But
Right.
that's good that you found something.
Right. That helped me. And then we moved back. I haven't really experienced that again. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel anxiety.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like a mental thing or what it was, but I haven't had to like meditate in a long time, which
Yeah. Well, I was talking to somebody about this the other day too, is like, we are all wired differently. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, obviously, like we just talked about that, like you and I are wired differently. I think that I, unfortunately, and I don't want to speak this over my life, but I'm wired to like worry and have anxiety.
yeah,
Like
I worry too.
yeah.
I actually have a lot of worry. But it's how you deal with it,
Yeah.
And like, again, like you take that thought and just like get it out and like get it away. So why are you just
Because I'm nervous.
okay? Put that down.
I know I'm moving like this, the wire for our headphones, like
like
on
a
my hands,
coiled
but
wire.
it's weird. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
I didn't realize I was doing that until you pointed it out.
it happens a lot of times.
Okay.
I pointed it out.
Oh my God. Okay.
Why are you nervous?
No, I just, I mean, honestly, I was nervous to talk about this in the first place because I'm a people pleaser. I worry about what people think about me, and I don't want any of this to come off wrong to people. I don't want, I'm
Like this conversation?
Yes, literally this conversation. I was worried about talking about it because I know people are listening, and now people are going to know like what I deal with. I never wanted anyone to know that I dealt with anxiety,
Yeah.
but I
Gosh,
do.
we're different.
I know.
Because I'm just like, so what? Like, let them know. And if they have an issue, like, whatever. It's fine.
And
Like,
I'm like, my heart is beating out of my chest right now. Like literally everybody's going to know now that I have anxiety.
but I mean, it's not like a label that you have on you.
I know,
you
that's
what
what I'm
mean?
saying. I didn't want to speak that over myself, but
Yeah,
it is.
good.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm dealing with it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be better. I'm actively.
You're going through a journey. And it sounds so hippie too.
I am though. I really am.
Yeah.
And that's why like, I think it is important that we're talking about it because I have been trying to like be better about this
Right.
and deal with it. And because I don't want to live like this the rest of my life. And I think that there are tools.
You need another sip of wine. That's one tool.
I mean, it could be for some people, but what I'm saying is there are tools that can get anxiety away. So
What's the number one tool?
the Bible,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
I was like, the Lord.
yes. And I don't mean to be like very, like, I don't know, but I wanted to bring up this verse, just like, this is what has helped me. And this actually came up on my timeline today. Like somebody posted it, which I'm like, that's another thing that's like, we need to
have to
talk
talk
about
about
this. But this is from the Message version. It's Philippians 4:8, summing it up. And it kind of goes with what you're saying too. Summing it all up, friends. I'd say you'll do best by filling your minds and meditating on things true, noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious, the best, not the worst, the beautiful, not the ugly, things to praise, not to curse. Put into practice what you learned from me, what you heard and saw and realized. Do that, and God, who makes everything work together, will work you into his most excellent harmonies.
That's good.
So, I don't know. That's just kind of something that I deal with. I don't know. I mean, that
Well,
has helped
how-
me. I'm sorry. That
Yeah.
has helped me.
Well, like what tools do you use? Like what's been helping? I know earlier you were saying, we were talking at mom and dad's house, that you were saying like how you're not until like this year where you actually were like, oh, I'm becoming more self-aware of like who I am. Like,
Yeah.
like what does that mean, I guess?
I think honestly, because I've dealt with anxiety for like almost my whole life. And I think it's become more prevalent now and recently because it was an everyday thing when I was pregnant. Every single day I had a panic attack. And then even after pregnancy, like I was having panic attacks too, like just every day.
Yeah.
I mean, some days were worse than others, but like every single day. And so whenever I was thinking about it while I was pregnant, I talked to my doctor, whatever. I did, things that I needed to do.
Because that's normal. Like,
Yeah. And so I was talking to her about it, and, she was telling me like, if you can breathe through it, like it's good. So I started doing more meditation, started doing things like that. But then I realized like, I'm going to be a mom. Like I'm going to be a mom. And
it's still really weird to me that you're a mom, just so we know.
Okay.
Like it's weird that you like, we call mom. It's weird that Liam's going to call you mom.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's still weird to me. Maybe I'm in shock still.
Okay. Well, the thing that hit me really hard is like, I'm going to have to teach this child like how to deal with things like this. And if he deals with them, which I pray that he does not, but other people might, and he might be like, I don't understand, or I don't get this person. I don't understand this mental health XYZ. So I was like, I really need to make a conscious effort about being a better version of myself. And that way I can teach my child, like, you need to always strive to be the best version of yourself ever. So that's kind of like where it all started, is like just in my pregnancy, it becoming more prevalent that I was like having legitimate anxiety attacks, like, and that I needed to do something for it to be better, for me to be better.
Have you felt like since your pregnancy that it has been better, or?
I feel like in the last... Oh my God. I didn't realize I said that.
No, I've been like keeping tabs.
Shut up.
And I want you to start keeping tabs on me. Like, I feel like...
That's going to be on our shirts, you guys.
I feel like...
No, but...
TM, trademark. No one's still... You have a patent
I forgot
waiting.
the question you said.
Oh, how has it been now? Since you started, like since you were pregnant, like do you feel like it's better now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm more self-aware. So whereas before I would fall into it, I would be like, be like, I'm having an anxiety attack, and then it all just come crumbling down, and then I would be like, literally like laying in the bed, like crying, and just crying like uncontrollably. And David would be like, what is going on? I'm like, I don't know. I really honestly, Lauren, I don't know if you've had like a real anxiety attack, but you're like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know how to stop it. Like, it's very scary.
Yeah, I know. It makes me mad, actually. Like, I'm a very protective person. It makes me angry. Like, I'm crying. It's so like I get angry that happens to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, only maybe like once or twice, like I've experienced something like that, but never like on a everyday thing.
Yeah, like I can't move.
Yeah,
like it's bad. But so I haven't had anything like that recently because I have been able to like.
That was a high five.
I've been able to like notice what's going on, and then like what I said in the podcast last week is thinking this is a negative thought, and I have the power and I have the control to change that to a positive thought.
Right.
So I've been better.
Honestly, all I've been thinking about the last like 15 seconds is how good of a high five that was. I'm not even joking. Like we didn't even. That's so good.
And we're just making eye contact. That's the trick,
honestly,
you guys.
Well, that and to have the perfect high five, you have to look at their elbow.
Well, I wasn't looking at your
elbow. Look at my elbow. See, I feel like the contact that was. Yeah. Okay, that was good. Anyway, yeah, I mean what that guy said. There's another guy actually that I'm gonna tell you about afterwards. Okay. That he's a little like hippy dippy, hippy dippy, hocus pocusy, but like the underlying like understanding of what he says is actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Man, that's deep.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that I had written down that I wanted to say that I'm trying to be better, and the reason why I'm able to have this conversation like for other people to listen to is I did hear like I think it was in another podcast that your value is wrapped up in what other people think about you. Like that's how that's my thought process.
Right.
And I'm like, what? My value is what other people think about me. We talked about this yesterday too.
Yes. Okay. So guys, this has never really happened to me before. I mean, maybe it has when I was younger, but I was driving home. Me and somebody else had like talked about somebody. I can't really remember what it was. But we were speaking about somebody and I was like, man, I wonder like what that person like thinks of me, because I like blocked them on social media just because they were annoying. But,
Wow.
That
makes me really nervous. Okay. Don't say anymore.
I'm just saying that they're just like, this particular
Don't say anymore.
person, he or she is just very negative, and I didn't want that in my life, so I blocked them.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that. But I was driving and I was just like, man, like I wonder if that person knows that I blocked them on social media. Like I wonder what they think about me. I wonder, like they probably think like I'm a bad person now. I wonder like if they think that, you know, I was dumb for being back from New York. And while I was driving,
Are you driving like a big bus? She has her hands out like probably 1.5 feet from each other. Like I'm driving.
But seriously,
driving the bus.
Okay, I'm gonna put my hands on. But while I was driving like that, you know, Lauren Gray used to have drive a big bus. Anyway, but while I was driving, I was like,
I think Kenny did too.
Kenny Garcia?
Yeah, I think.
Did you, Kenny? Comment below. But while I was driving, I was like, oh, because then I was like, man, maybe like it was dumb for me to move back from New York City with my parents. Like maybe, you know, just like thinking all these things.
Maybe I am a bad person.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
you never thought that.
I'm a great person. But, you know, just like that thought. And then I was like, why am I looking at myself through the lens of this person? Like, why? Like, while I was driving and I was like, absolutely not. Like that, I took that and I was like, no, like, first off, I don't know that person thinks like that about me. It was just like thoughts that I was making up in my head, you know? And then I started thinking, oh, maybe I am like that, or maybe this decision was dumb. And then I was like, why the hell am I looking at myself like that? Like, that is not how I see myself. That's sure how I almost cursed. That
You said hell.
But hell's a real place. Alyssa.
Okay.
Or maybe it's not. Who knows? Anyway, but I mean, I know that the Lord doesn't look at me like that either. You know what I mean?
That's so good.
So that's the thing that I was like, why am I even thinking like that? Like, but people do.
I do.
Yeah, like Alyssa.
When she said that, I was like, yes, that's literally how I think.
God, I hit the mic. But that had never like happened to me before. And I don't know. I feel like that's helpful.
That's what I was going to say. That is something that you do that has helped me is just being very like self-confident. Mm-hmm. So I think for a long time, like
maybe I'm too confident.
No, but I mean, it's good. It's definitely a good thing. When you were away in college, like I think when I was in high school, I wasn't very secure in myself. And that has other factors to do. Mm-hmm. But like when you came back, I was like, Lauren is very confident and like she is happy, you know? And for me, I was like, I'm insecure and I'm unhappy. Mm-hmm. So like, why can't I can just be confident. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then I had a hard time describing like Alyssa, like who freaking cares? Like be confident. You know?
It's not until literally this year that I was like, okay, nobody is looking at me. Like nobody.
Like what I told Caroline the other day, you're not special, Caroline.
Wow. Okay. That's not true.
She's like, we're special to the Lord. Or I told her, I was like, we're special to the Lord, but nobody else thinks you're special.
Yeah.
She got real mad at me.
Well, because that sounds very rude. Another thing, like that sounds so rude.
It wasn't just to Caroline. It was like to Caroline and Alyssa.
It wasn't. Yeah, but it was.
Like, y'all aren't special. But
what you mean to say is that when you go to the gym and you think like everybody's looking at me, like I can't go work out because everybody's looking at me.
You're not special.
Yeah. Like I don't go to the gym and look at other people. So why do I think that if I go to the gym, they're going to be looking at me.
Yeah.
Like I literally did not think that until this year. I did not have that confidence until this year.
Yeah.
And or maybe last year, I don't know.
Yeah.
But even still, it's hard because that is my the way that I think is I'm like, my value is what other people think about me. I'm happy if everybody else around me is happy.
Yeah.
So that has been really hard for me, especially in this last like couple days, even being like, I don't have to make this person happy. Like I don't have to make everybody happy. Like if I'm happy, okay. In this podcast, it was so good. She talked about this other podcast. Yeah. Her name's Rachel Hollis. She talked about, I think she was referencing another podcast actually, but she talked about like we are a glass jar.
Okay.
And we are getting filled with all these things, all these nutrients, all these, happiness things. And sometimes as women, sometimes as women, and I 100% related to this, you pour yourself here into your kid, you pour yourself here into your husband, you pour yourself here into your church, you pour yourself here into your work, blah, blah, blah. And what happens if you pour yourself too much and fall over? The glass breaks. So why not instead be filled, be happy, be filled until whatever is filling you pours over into those things. I know.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're going to link that podcast below too, because wow, that's good.
So good. And I was like, life change.
Yeah.
Because that's not how I ever thought before.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But like that's, okay. So let's back up a little bit because I may be a little bit too overflowy, I guess you can say.
You're like, you don't have to be happy until I'm happy.
That's
how you think.
Kind of. Is. And I mean, that's not how I think. That's how, maybe, I mean, I don't know. Like
maybe you need to be a little bit more self-aware.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I feel like maybe 10 years ago, yes, for sure. It was, I'm going to change the mood with I'm going to change the room with my mood. You know what I mean? If I'm not happy, nobody else is happy. If I'm happy, everybody better be happy. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. I think what I've learned from you is like, hey, like, even though sometimes it drives me nuts that you care what other people think or you are a people pleaser, like there's some part of me that I need to take into consideration what people do think, because I could be hurting their feelings without knowing. Like, for example, our pastor David was talking about this, I think it was yesterday. He was saying like, just maybe some joke he said 10 years ago, like could have been whatever, but it really could have hurt someone's feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So I don't know if I'm hurting one's feelings. I'm sorry. I didn't really mean to. It's just
how you come
my
off.
personality.
Yeah.
And my personality, especially like back then too.
Yeah.
I feel like I have matured and got better, hopefully.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, we're all on a journey.
Right.
Not to sound like hippie dippy. And this is not like, we're not Tony Robbins, but
yeah,
but it's true. And I think the best thing that we can do, and another friend of ours spoke about this.
We're going to talk about aliens today too.
Oh my gosh. Because that's like another really weird thing that the way Lauren thinks. Okay, let me just close this. Let me close this thought. Is that at the end of the day, I was saying our friend spoke about this on Sunday too, is choose joy.
Yes.
Choose joy, be happy. That's it.
But I mean,
aliens.
Choose joy, be happy, aliens.
That's on our shirt.
I'm serious. Keep talking.
Okay. I don't know why we were going to talk about this, but Lauren, that's another like strange thing that the way she thinks compared to the way that I think is we were talking about this earlier and then she was like, do you think that Avril Lavigne really died? And then she is like a new Avril Lavigne person. I'm like, why are you thinking about that?
About Avril Lavigne?
because she came out with the worship song.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, what? Avril Lavigne? You're like, maybe it's not maybe
it's not Avril. Maybe it's that girl, Melissa. That's her body double. Actually, Melissa Trott. Cavazos.
Are you Avril Lavigne? No, but yeah.
Okay.
But no, I'm just saying like that's like you're just like super into conspiracy theories and
But
like
so is Dad.
aliens. Yeah.
So I was looking through Dad's subscriptions on YouTube, and a lot of the same subscriptions, like conspiracy theory subscriptions, like separately.
Bigfoot.
No, I don't know. He's like real. I'm not into Bigfoot. Secure Team 10 is who we both like subscribe coast to coast.
What do you think about the thing with the FBI and the thing they like emptied out
aliens. Truly. Okay, so they say that so y'all can look it up and Google it or whatever, but they evacuated this whole entire now I'm like forgetting what it is. It's like
like Area 51.
No, it's not. It's like some part in Arizona, but they view space, but they view the solar
observatory.
Yes. So it's a solar observatory, and they evacuated that whole area. They evacuated the little town and the USPS office. Like, why? Huh. And they didn't tell anybody. They had Black Hawks circling the area. Like, FBI was there. And they said that they didn't tell anyone because they didn't want to tip off the guy that they were looking for. But you know what's going to tip them off? The Black Hawk helicopters evacuating all the city. You know what I mean? Like,
that's going to tip off the aliens? I'm confused.
No, so basically they said...
Oh, they were saying that they're... Okay.
The reason why they were there is because they were going to... Because they thought there was some man looking at, like, child pornography.
It's okay, yeah.
But... or all the conspiracy theories out there are saying, like, that's not true. Like...
I mean, I'm not, like, into conspiracy theories, but that's pretty shady.
It is really shady.
Yeah.
I know. See, I'm pulling you in.
I mean,
You're
believe
learning
in aliens.
from me. You do?
Yeah.
Like real aliens or like little...
Why put Jesus in a box?
Yeah, exactly. Like Jesus could have made aliens.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well.
So the whole point of this, what is it?
Choose joy,
be happy, aliens. I mean, I'm glad we talked about this, and I'm glad even though it was like 30 minutes that we just kind of got out there. If you guys want us to do things longer, let me know in the comments below, along with Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny comment.
But yes, I want to come out with shirts, even though Alyssa says no, even though Alex says no.
No,
These naysayers out here tell me it's too soon. But I know that all my friends are going to be buying Choose Joy, Be Happy Aliens. I know they're going to buy I Feel Like. I know
Like I Feel Like.
Like I Feel Like. Anyway, whatever. All right. So please subscribe to our channel, like our podcast. I mean, take screenshots. Send us texts that you
I just
like.
looked at the time and it was 3:33.
Conspiracy theory, aliens. But I mean, like, we want to know that you guys are like following us or that you like what we're doing, and you know we want to continue doing it whether you like it or not. But
I'm over here like, wait, no, like it,
please like this, and I'm like, we're gonna continue to do it whether you like it or not. But I do want to see like what you guys like, what you don't like. There was one video that
tell Lauren if you don't like it. Tell me if you do.
Yeah, there was one video that had 1 thumbs down. I know, and I was
Why
like,
would you tell me that?
Oh God. Alyssa's not allowed to look at any comments.
I don't.
She's not allowed to look at any YouTube because you know someone's going to be like, that fat girl, or their buns are ugly, or they're ugly, or kill yourself, or like people will say stupid stuff like that.
No.
But you know what? Please, I dare you. I dare you.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I don't dare you. Please be nice. Choose joy. Be happy. Aliens. We'll see you guys next week.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.